About a year ago, Cheryl Anscombe and Raheem Jackson were expecting a new baby. They had recently moved, and Cheryl switched jobs.
Can you describe how you were feeling?
Just really a lot of pressure, very heavy and fearful.
Anxious?
Very anxious.
She found a therapist in a suburb of Philadelphia who was white.
It felt like she just wasn't getting it, and I could tell it was from, the cultural differences, but I felt like I couldn't be myself in the session.
I could imagine, particularly white people, hearing that story and thinking, well, but it doesn't matter what color your skin is.
Yes, it does. And it's not necessarily a matter of the color of skin, it's more of the cultural backgrounds.
Raheem has found a similar disconnect in his 9-year recovery from alcohol and drugs.
I'd be in a meeting and I couldn't tell my story fully and honestly because I didn't want to offend the white people in the room.
Both tried to find black therapists.
And I was wondering, where are all the black therapists? Are they hiding underneath a rock?
I wanted a black male therapist.
Could you find one?
I could not find one for my life.
In the U.S., just 4% of psychologists are black and only 2% of psychiatrists, including Dr. Brandy Jackson in Chicago. She went to medical school only after traveling to Uganda and seeing black doctors at work.
I believe strongly that it's impossible for us to really become something in which we cannot first envision in our mind. And when we think of a doctor, we definitely don't default to thinking about a black person.
Added to that, she says many in the black community are raised to distrust psychological help. Black Americans are about half as likely as white Americans to use mental health services.
I think we still have a lot of reckoning to do in the black community with regards to the stigma around mental illness. So when the time comes for those of us who are becoming doctors to pick a specialty, I think there's that extra layer there.
Are there enough people like you to go around?
I wish there were. I wouldn't. The unfortunate answer is no right now, but I'm an optimist.
Dr. Jackson's new website is designed to help draw more black people into the field. Cheryl did eventually find a new therapist who's black.
And it's been a day and night difference. She definitely understands my version of the struggle. Just working with her has been really beneficial for me.
Finding a connection that's still rare in this country. Kate Snow, NBC News, Chicago.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.